Hey everybody, this is the D Train, Daniel Ehrenberg, your friend till the end, and I'm ready to play. Welcome to the franchise.
Welcome, everybody. This is Henry Papali. It's episode 159. And yes, sir, we are covering the Chucky movies. That's right, ain't it, Dan?
Well, not yet. They're not the Chucky movies until the fourth one.
Great point, actually, in title-wise, in corrective title. That's correct. That's true.
We're
That's
going
true.
Child's Play on the first three. These are which is, I gotta tell you, not a great title.
Never really thought about
They
it.
should have just called it Chucky.
Chucky. Yeah.
Chucky
Yeah.
1, Chucky 2.
Right.
This first movie should just be called Chucky 1.
Chucky. I don't know. Would that have flown in '88? Anybody get confused about?
I don't. It's '88. This is like the tail end of the horror franchise boom.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, you got Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are the Freddy movies. Friday the 13th. Those are the Jason movies. You'd think eventually they just learn. Fuck it. This is Chucky.
Yeah. Here's our new horror creation. We're just gonna go with the name.
Chucky 1.
You raise a fair point.
Yeah. When I was a kid, when these movies were coming out, Henry, I was fascinated by them.
I was too.
Because you're a kid, so you see a scary doll. Now, when I lived in Brooklyn, when I was 4 years old, Henry, we had a local video store we'd go to.
Sure.
I'd go there every week and rent Sword in the Stone, and and there was the horror section was curtained off,
Jesus.
like a porn section might be.
Yeah. Wow.
And I would always, because I was a little boy,
Yeah, of course.
I would sneak under the curtain. And I was too scared to go all the way under there, but I popped my head in,
Sure. Sure. You saw those cassette covers.
Yeah, I wanted to see the cassette covers. And I distinctly remember a few that spooked me. I remember April Fool's Day with the fucking ponytail in the shape of a noose.
Ooh, okay.
I remember that's spooky. I remember the movie Dead Alive.
I do too. I remember that as a kid as well, because in Toronto when I was growing up, it's a much more lax society in terms of that kind of stuff, or at least it was then. And I remember this similar thing. I didn't mean to interrupt your story. It's a very similar thing where there was a video store I used to go to, and I'd walk there. It's the 80s.
Sure.
Walk there by myself, 9 years old. And I would look at the horror movies too, and I would never touch them. But I would look at them, and some of the covers were just so fucking disturbing. And I remember Dead Alive, and I specifically remember two others, 976 Evil.
We should cover those movies.
Oh, I agree. And House.
House with the
It
hand.
had the hand, right.
Yeah, that was spooky.
really
I remember that
oh,
shit.
Yeah, I don't really remember maybe the other famous ones, but those three just stick out in my head. Yeah.
But Child's Play was one of those for me because I think as a kid, you're attracted to dolls.
Sure.
It was a toy, and I loved toys. And
I had it all very similar to this doll. I had the My Buddy.
I had a My Buddy too, I believe.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what that was based on, of course. The original title of Child's Play was Blood Buddy, which is not a great title either.
No, it is not.
It was called Blood Buddy. I think the original concept, as Don Mancini conceived it, was that the doll would be part human, where it could bleed straight from the start of the movie, rather than slowly becoming human.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was added, I think, by John Lafayette. Anyway, let's get to it since we're talking about the fucking writers already. Child's Play. First of all, I want to give a big thank you to Logan Badair.
Yeah.
Logan Badair. The reason we are covering Child's Play, he dropped the $50 on the Patreon.
Yes, he did, indeed.
To make us go see Child's Play in theaters, the new one.
Right.
Hopefully
right,
it's still out by the time we get finished with these fucking movies.
I'm gonna probably have to see it before I'm finished this run. I'm thinking because I don't know. I don't want to take the chance.
I don't know. I want to watch them in order.
I do too.
I feel like worst comes to worst, maybe I'll watch a bootleg of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. So Child's Play was originally conceived by Don Mancini, who is a fella who's going to be with us the whole way, Henry.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wrote all 7 OG Chucky movies.
Jesus Christ.
And this new one, this remake, is the first one he has nothing to do with, really.
That's kind of an unusual thing in our coverage of big horror franchises. Usually they change hands all the time.
As far as I know, in terms of horror franchises, this is a lone wolf in terms of that shit.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, Mancini, he wrote all those. He's a good, interesting writer. He's also wrote for the 3rd season of Hannibal.
Okay.
And he's done a little bit of other work. Cellar Dweller was a horror movie.
Never heard of that. All right.
Anyway, I like Don Mancini, but basically his career is Chucky movies.
Yeah, obviously. Took up a lot of his time and decades. Yeah.
Correct. So he wrote this movie because this is sort of before they trusted him. So they had it rewritten by a fella named John Lafia. Okay.
Two Italian fellas.
Don Mancini and John Lafia.
Yeah, and the music by Joe Renzetti.
Oh, okay. Lafia ended up becoming a director. You might have noticed he directed Child's Play 2.
Yes.
But he directed a bunch of other shit too. I kind of like that movie, Man's Best Friend, the scary dog movie.
Oh, I remember that. I don't think I saw it. That's Ali Sheedy, isn't it?
I think that's right. I think she's in that.
I don't know where I pulled that out because I haven't seen it, but yeah, I remember that. Yep.
That's a pretty good pull. Yeah, that's her right there.
Thank you.
He also directed The Blue Iguana, which I think is one of those Ebert most hated movies.
Okay.
All right. And they co-wrote it also with Tom Holland, who's the director of the first movie. He's probably the classiest member of this crew. He was
Spider-Man, I mean, he has to be.
I know. That never occurred to me until this watch of it.
Yeah. Interesting. He was very young.
Yeah, but he got his start. He wrote and directed Fright Night, which is a bit of a classic. Our friend Brad Becker's #1 favorite film of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Jesus. Wow. Talk about a pull.
Yeah.
I've never seen Fright Night.
I don't believe I have either.
Really?
Yeah, we should cover them.
Yeah.
He also did Fatal Beauty, which I've never seen. That's a Whoopi movie.
Good.
She made someone cry this week. Someone famous.
Whoopi
Did you hear about that? Yeah. Someone, maybe Bella Thorne, one of these hotsy-totsies.
Okay.
She was getting blackmailed over some nude pictures.
Okay.
And she released them, and Whoopi was all, had her on The View, And she was like, well, you should know what's going to happen if you take pictures in the first place. And she, went on this rant on Instagram, I was in a long-distance relationship. If I want to share some sexy pictures with my man, I should be allowed to.
No.
This bitch, Whoopi. Fuck you, Whoopi.
Wow.
That was the tone of it.
Wow. Whoopi just said, "You in danger, girl."
Is that a thing she says?
Ghost. That's her line.
Oh, that's a line from Ghost?
Yeah, they played it ad nauseum when that movie came out.
Good pull, bro. But, my favorite Tom Holland movie besides Child's Play is?
What?
Thinner.
Yes, I saw when that he directed that. That was weird to me to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he went on a king kick. He also did The Langoliers.
That I didn't see. But yeah, I watched Thinner not too long ago. Yeah, I think we talked about it off air. Yeah.
But he was apparently the 5th choice for this movie. It was offered to a number of directors. It was offered first, Henry, to none other than William Friedkin, who turned it down.
I saw that. Yeah, that's funny.
Then Irvin Kershner, the director of The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, weird choice.
Then Robert Wise.
What did he do, Robert
I don't
Ross?
know, man. Should we look
big
these?
name? No, we don't have to. But I know the names.
That is
All
a
right.
big name. Here, let's look it up. Robert Wise, Henry. He directed West Side Story
Oh,
and The Sound of Music. An interesting choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah, what were they thinking there?
they were
And
thinking out of the good guys box.
finally, they went to a fella named Joseph Rubin, who, he's a good director. He had just directed The Stepfather, which I love.
Yeah.
And he went on to direct such classics as Sleeping with the Enemy and The Good Son, some of my favorite movies.
Those were hits.
Yeah.
Or at least Sleeping with the Enemy was a hit.
The Good Son was a hit in my household. If you ever want to see Macaulay Culkin say fuck, you'll be loving it.
Yeah, sure.
So the movie was finally released November 9th, 1988. A budget of $9 million, and it made $44.2 million.
Whoa.
It was a hit.
That's a big one.
It came in at number 34 for the 1988 box office, right between Mississippi Burning and The Accidental Tourist.
Boy, I thought those two movies did better than that. All right.
I have my 1988 list. Should we do that? Oh,
Nice.
Henry, I said I was going to bust out the fucking Blockbuster book.
Oh, well, you certainly can if you want.
All right, I got to look for it, Henry. Fill some time. Maybe start your list.
Oh, boy. I will read some honorable mentions from 1988 while Dano finds his book. Some honorable mentions from 1988 would be Mississippi Burning, Scrooged, Talk Radio, They Live.
Oh, are these HMs? I found the book, by the way.
Oh, okay, then I can be done. I had a whole bunch here for some reason, but yeah, so there's a whole bunch. But I named a few. There you go.
All right, let's see. Let's see how many on their 88 list. Because, they go over 10. 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Holy shit, what a year.
Jesus. Wow. Okay. Well, you want to do start at their 10 and then go through us in that way?
Well, they go, if you might recall, they go by the alphabet.
Oh, right. It's been a while. Yeah. Okay. Well, however you want to do it.
So you got Working Girl over here.
All right.
All right.
Good movie.
Yeah, Melanie Griffith's sincere quality and deft timing highlight her star-making role.
Deft timing. Yeah, sure.
And Carly Simon's theme, Let the River Run, enhances the magical blend of performances. You won't be able to resist its jungle beat.
That song came up once on our show, and I sang a little bit of it. I remember that your mom liked that very much.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I kind of did, Henry.
Yeah.
You're starting to sound a little vain. I bet you think this podcast is about you.
I bet I do. It's about me. About me. About me.
All right, women on the verge of a nervous breakdown they got here. All right?
Yeah.
For a foreign comedy, it sure had a lot of Americans seriously relating to it. It's a weird thing to say.
That sure is like a backhanded compliment.
All right, they've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
You'll be loving that.
I was never a fan of that movie.
I gotta tell you, it's not that great.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I don't know that I saw it again, but I probably did. But yeah, I didn't care.
That was a movie for fucking old people that were like, oh my god, all those great cartoon characters.
Yeah, right, from the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Betty Boop.
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, he's in there. Okay. Thin Blue Line they've got on their list. It's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. An eerie score by Philip Glass adds to the intrigue of this landmark motion picture. All right, they've got
I don't argue that.
They've got Rain Man.
Good choice.
They say this is by far 1988's most poignant movie.
I don't think that's at all true.
Nor do I.
Love Rain Man, but I did bump it off my top 10 actually. So.
All right, they've got Mississippi Burning here.
Great.
Yeah.
Movie.
Is
Great
that
movie.
6? Yeah, we can start now.
All right.
Okay. What's your number 10?
Coming to America.
Oh, okay. Mine is Mississippi Burning.
Nice, nice, nice. Glad to see it on there. It's not on mine.
Blockbuster's number 10 is Gorillas in the Mist.
Oh yeah, sure. If you like gorillas and you like to sleep, it's an excellent film.
Sigourney Weaver's most compelling role to date.
I don't think that's.
More than Ripley.
I don't think so.
All right, what's your number 9?
The Thin Blue Line.
Okay, mine's Another Woman.
Yeah.
And
good one.
Blockbuster, they're going to put in their vote for A Fish Called Wanda.
Never liked it.
It's good.
Eh.
All right. Number 8?
Bright Lights, Big City.
Okay, mine's Big.
Sure, makes sense. Love that.
Their number 8 here is Die Hard.
Okay, I'm glad it's on the list. Yeah.
The suspense is capped by a plethora of top-notch special effects.
Plethora, huh?
It's funny that that's like a special effects movie to them in 1988.
Yeah, right. That is funny. That would really never be said now.
Yeah, I
about
know.
something like that. Yeah.
What's your number 7?
Bull Durham.
Oh, all right. Mine's Beetlejuice. They say Dangerous Liaisons.
Okay.
All right. If you thought Glenn Close was a terror in Fatal Attraction, wait till you see her in this.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Wow. All
What's
right.
your number 6?
My number 6 is the very underrated Michael Keaton film Clean and Sober.
Okay. Mine's Die Hard.
Oh, all right. And what is
Blockbuster's going to put in their vote for A Cry in the Dark, the Dingo Ate My Baby movie.
is that who's in that one?
Excuse me. Meryl Streep.
Oh, I never saw it.
I'm joking.
Right there, pal. While Dan's asphyxiating,
I'm all right.
Okay. I'll play. You got a moment because it's time for
heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
All right. And the number 5 and a heavy hitter is Dead Ringers.
Ooh, good one. My number 5 is They Live.
Great one.
When Blockbuster says the heavy hitter here is Bull Durham.
Wow. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
It's an intelligent and very funny movie about baseball and love.
They're speaking the truth, my friend.
An altogether absorbing motion picture experience.
Absorbing. It is. I love their adjectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
What's your number 4?
Beetlejuice.
Mine's Last Temp of Christ.
Nice.
Big is theirs.
Okay.
All right, a great movie. Here we have the 80s body switch genre's most heartfelt movie.
Oh, probably right. It's probably better than the Kirk Cameron Dudley Moore
Holy
one.
shit, I gotta see that one day. What's your number 3?
Last Temp of Christ.
Nice. Mine is The Thin Blue Line.
Nice. Very well put.
And Blockbuster, of course, went with Beaches.
Oh, God.
All right.
Ooh. That's their worst choice.
Through separate career successes, and personal heartbreaks, these characters share laughter and tears, Henry. You will too. The soundtrack features Bette Midler's best singing to date, including the hit songs Wind Beneath My Wings and Under the Boardwalk. Her rendition of The Glory of Love is fucking heartrending, okay?
I would put Wind Beneath My Wings in the top 20 Henry most hated songs of all time.
No, the worst 2 songs ever written are, of course...
I said 20.
Yeah, but my bottom 2 are The Shape of You by Ed Sheeran and, of course, Old Time Rock and Roll.
Oh, yeah. I right. Yeah. You'll recall in my top 20 as well was that Bryan Adams one that we had so much fun with.
Everything I do.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's right.
What's your number 2?
Midnight Run.
All right. My number 2 is Wings of Desire.
Great movie. I still always think of that as 87, so, but whatever.
They went with The Accused.
Great movie.
All right.
It used to be in my top 10, yeah.
Jodie Foster has enough emotional range to last a lifetime.
It's almost like a very prosaic statement. It's like her emotions will be there as long as she's alive and acting.
Yeah. There you go.
And they're right.
Maybe it's like she burns them into the celluloid.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your number 1?
Die Hard.
Okay, I went with Dead Ringers.
Can't argue that.
And Blockbuster went with The Accidental Tourist.
Oy vey.
Ann Tyler's best-selling novel comes to the screen in all its subtle brilliance, with William Hurt as a travel writer trying to cope with the loss of his 12-year-old son. His estranged wife and a quirky pet shop owner do their best to break through his somber state with differing results. All right?
Yeah, I've never seen that movie, and I remember when it came out, it was a big deal, big hit. And
Gina Davis won her Oscar for that.
That's
I've
right.
never seen that movie either.
I probably never will.
All right, that's all for Blockbuster for today, gang. I'm sorry this doesn't go up to 1990.
Oh, okay. I always forget the cutoff year for that. Yeah.
But shout out to Olivia, who's been reminding me to bust that out for months now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely has to come back for sure. Good.
I packed that when I moved into this apartment in October, thinking, like, I'm going to need that.
Wow.
And then I just forgot it.
Yeah. That was smart.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you want to talk about Child's Play?
Child's Play.
All right, so
Yes.
listen, honestly, it's a really sad setup. Let's talk about it. We've got single mom just trying to get by, raising her young boy Andy Barclay, and she's just scraping by on a job working a jewelry counter.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Is it a jewelry counter? Might be
It looks-
might
no,
be a
it's-
perfume counter.
I think it's jewelry.
They say at some point. I can't remember.
Yeah, they do. I think they say jewelry, but
All right.
yeah. She has a. I got to say, I don't know Chicago very well, but for that job, she has a hell of a nice apartment.
Well, we don't know
kept
what goes
thinking
on in Chicago. It might be the South Side.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, there are like weird homeless zones nearby.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It could be.
I love those. Is that a thing? In movies, I love
Homeless
anytime we go to a little homeless village.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You mean like the under the bridge with the fires and
Yeah, it's always like probably like 50 homeless people hanging out like kind of in a line. Some of them have tents.
Yeah, it's kind of like
There's always flaming barrels.
Yeah, it's like the 1930s Hoovervilles, like continued into cinema all the way for like 50 years. Yeah, it's true. You still see that shit sometimes in movies.
Oh, you see it all the time and on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever really passed one or seen one. I probably have. I don't know.
In the movies, if you're a homeless guy, you have two choices. Move to the homeless village or hop a train, an empty car.
Right. Yeah, traveling hobo.
And then you're going to sit on some hay.
Sit on some bales of hay.
In the movies, you always have one train car that's just full of a coating of hay on the floor.
Yeah. Or you're like in an alleyway. That's just kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, making a scary face. Those are the scary druggy homeless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I gotta say we'll get there, but
You walk by an alleyway, you see them like shooting up, and then they go like, "What are you looking at?" And you have to keep running.
Yeah. The homeless guy in this took me aback. I will say we'll get there.
Well, we shouldn't call him a homeless guy. First of all, he is consistently referred to in this movie as a peddler, which I found very weird.
He is a peddler.
That is a deeply weird thing for a movie to do.
Yeah, the peddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a C-grade Batman villain.
And everyone knows exactly what he's talking about. What like the first time we meet him, her best friend, who's basically Janine from the Ninja Turtles, just like a horny best friend. She's like, "Hey, there's a peddler out back." The woman's like, "I know exactly what you mean. On my way." All right.
Throw caution to the wind. It's the peddler right outside the store.
Right.
We're safe. We're safe.
And then later on, when she's talking to the cop, played by Chris Sarandon, she says like, I bought the doll from a peddler, and he's like, I know exactly what you mean. Let's go find the peddlers. Let's go to Peddler Village.
No problem finding it or who.
They know exactly where it is. It's like it's on the fucking map. Like I could put in an Uber, the homeless, and that's where they'll take me.
Yeah, it's probably on the Chicago Police Department's map, in their station. It was driving me nuts trying to figure out where I knew her friend from. And I was just going through everything in my head. For a while, before I looked it up, I was like, is it Boof?
That's not Boof.
And then I looked it up, and it all made sense. I've only seen that actress in one thing. She played Timothy Hutton's best friend in Ordinary People.
Ugh, yeah.
One of my favorite movies.
I know it is.
Yeah. No, I said one of your favorite movies.
Oh, yeah. Not a fan.
But yeah,
what do I know her from?
I don't know. Did you know her from something?
I'm sneezy tonight.
That's all right. You said you have a cold.
I don't, though. I feel fine. It's very annoying. I think I got allergies. Oh, you know what? She was Marty in Grease.
Perfect.
That's what I know her from.
Yeah, makes
She's
sense.
gotten around, though. She's had a career, this lady.
Yeah. She's
right.
decent. I think she's all right in this movie.
I thought she was fine, and she has the best death in the movie.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe.
Dude, she gets a hammer in the head. She falls backwards. She falls out of the kitchen window and lands on a car.
Pretty good.
Fucking awesome.
It is awesome. I agree with that. I was going to say the voodoo guy has a pretty good death, too, though.
That's a good one. All right, let's start at the beginning of the movie, Henry. We've got a prologue, okay?
Right.
We're introduced to Charles Lee Ray. Is that his name?
Yes, I read about the combination of that name, right?
Right, it's like Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and what's the other one?
The guy who killed Martin Luther King, James Earl Ray.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
How come that's a name that's not more famous? He fucking killed Martin Luther King.
Yeah. It's true. Manson and Oswald are just like household names. But
I feel like even the guy that killed Lennon is more famous than that guy.
He could be.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
He even got played by Jared Leto.
That's right. I remember that. Oh, yeah. Right.
Chap 27. Yes. All right,
I
so
thought that was a pretty good prologue. I thought that was pretty well done.
It's odd though. Like this is like a slasher movie, pretty much, and we're opening with like this big fucking cop chase, with explosions and shit.
Brad Dourif.
It looks good.
It does look good.
So yeah, Brad Dourif.
A nice looking movie.
This is a very good looking movie. I think. I think this is like a classy looking movie.
Yeah, it's well shot.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I have other stuff to get to, but yeah, that looks good.
So Brad Dourif is running from Chris Sarandon. Chris Sarandon's our cop, our male lead in this movie. You'll remember him, of course, as the professor in the first season of Felicity, who had an affair with Felicity's friend Elena.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Yeah. He's brothers, right? Ex-husband of Susan.
Ex-husband. They were married in the 70s.
Right.
Yeah. So he's chasing Brad Dourif, who's a serial killer, and Dourif, they end up in a toy store, and Dourif gets shot, and as he's like bleeding out, he's right next to this row of Good Guy dolls. Good Guys is in this world is a very popular animated series.
Didn't my buddy have a show too?
I don't believe so.
I'm imagining that.
What
I
the
could be
fuck is
imagining.
this Good Guys show about?
I don't know.
It seems like they're magical. I think you see them flying on the show.
Yeah,
But also,
yeah.
we're like obsessed with saying we're friends to the end. That's the catchphrase. All right.
Right.
But then also, you could buy a Good Guys brand toy toolbox kit.
Right.
So what
Yeah,
are these
it's the
Good
whole
Guys
thing.
handymen?
Well, they look at his shoe, right, and it's got like a gun and a hammer and all kinds of shit on it. So yeah,
That's
maybe
right.
they
Why
are.
did it have a gun on it?
I don't know. Maybe like it's an old west thing, like for kids, 6-shooter. I don't know. Or maybe Chucky. Maybe the Good Guy dolls are just like sort of maintenance guys. You know, like they're overalls. You know, maybe.
I
They're
think
plumbers.
that's what it is. The Good Guys are like a fleet of janitors just trying to
Yeah.
make friends with kids.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. You okay over there?
sorry.
we're
That
we're
one
quite a
got me.
pair, buddy.
Yeah, we are coughing up a storm.
All right, so he uses, of course, a voodoo spell to transfer his soul into the body of the Good Guy doll.
Yeah, we got a little. I didn't look it up or anything. I have no idea.
You
what
get a
language that
Ghostbuster
was.
Sky effect.
Ghostbuster Sky effect. I was imagining it was probably some sort of Creole mixed with maybe some Mesopotamian language going on.
That's
there.
what I was thinking. It's like Haitian, you know?
Right. Yeah, had to be. Yeah, given what we see later. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's that one guy.
Yeah.
So he becomes the Good Guy, and then we cut, and it's this kid, Andy Barclay. It's what are you doing over there, buddy?
Pouring a seltzer.
Okay, you got ice?
Yes.
Yeah,
you can hear it clinking.
I can hear every cube.
Oh, all
Okay.
right, awesome.
So the kid, he wakes up. It's his birthday. All right.
It is. Yes.
It's like 6 a.m.
Very early, makes his mom what is supposed to be breakfast.
By the way, why is this dude making his mom breakfast in bed on his own birthday?
I actually wondered the exact same thing.
Who the
when I
fuck
was watching
does
it.
that?
Well, I think we're just continuing on with our recent trend of terrible parenting. going
What?
on.
I mean, that's good parenting, though. Like,
teach your kid to
listen,
make his own-
your kid is
Yeah.
so fucking devoted to you that he's making breakfast in bed for you on his birthday?
Well, maybe you have a point there. That's a other side of the coin way to look at it. Sure.
Because, you
Yeah,
know, Mother's Day or her birthday makes sense. As far as I'm concerned, on his birthday, he should just be, like, jumping on her bed and screaming, it's time to open my prezzies.
Right. Very much so. Yeah.
Or she should be up already, ready to go.
Yeah, very true.
Lazy bitch spending all her nights selling perfume or whatever.
Yeah, lazy bitch.
Yeah, there's, of course, a lot of bitch.
Yes.
And even slut talk in this movie
Yes,
from Chucky for
yes,
no reason.
yes,
Even though the mom seems like the purest lady in the world.
Yes, he does. That's Catherine Hicks, whom I knew from Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home.
But whom everyone else will know as the mom from Seventh Heaven.
Of course. There you go. Well done.
She was on that show for 11 fucking years.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she had the indignity of being paid to kiss Stephen Collins for over a decade.
Not a good-looking man.
Well, and also he had his lips elsewhere, if you know what I mean.
Got it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the plot.
No,
Yeah.
Henry.
No, I don't.
You don't know that Stephen Collins got caught on tape having like putting a 13-year-old's hand on his dick?
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
You don't know about this?
I do not.
Multiple kids. I think like an 11, a 13-year-old, maybe a 16-year-old or something. And they were all like, it was like a neighbor situation. Like, the neighbors are over, and he ends up in a room with this kid. Like, hey, you want to touch my penis?
Oh, my God.
That's your Stephen Collins, my friend.
Jesus Christ. I did not know that.
I
Oh.
listened to, there was a leaked deposition. You know, like him answering questions.
Sure.
And, he was under oath, so he was answering honestly, and it was all the creepiest things you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, my God. Is he in prison right now?
I don't know.
Let's hope so.
I didn't follow up on that story.
Jesus Christ. I've never heard that. I mean,
Yeah.
I barely have. Stephen Collins, to me, was just like a character actor in the 80s. I've seen him in stuff. I think he's even in Brewster's fucking Millions. Uh-oh. Maybe I won't watch it again.
Yeah, please don't. I just knew him as the dad from Seventh Heaven and also Melissa Joan Hart's dad, who operates a hot air balloon in the movie Drive Me Crazy.
Drive Me Crazy. Came up recently.
Came out in 1999. Check out the Patreon for that.
What up?
Yeah.
I do have to say, one of the weak points of this movie
Is what?
Oh, you must really love this movie. You sounded surprised that there were any weak points.
No, I'm just. Were you talking about Catherine Hicks?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I think she's totally fine.
She's excellent. This fucking kid. Oh my God, dude. I mean, he's better in the second one. I'm just going to put it out here,
but he is kind of a bad child actor, and
he really is, man. I mean, we try to give credit where credit's due in this.
It would be a better. It would undeniably be a better movie with a different kid.
It really would. I mean,
and you say he got better in the second one, which he kind of did, but also the second one is way more just centrally about him.
Yeah, but it gives the blonde character Kyle a lot of time too. But yeah, you're right. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, like I had seen Child's Play, I think, back on video when it came out, and then probably a few more times throughout my life. But I haven't really watched it all the way through for over 20 years easily. So I will say. Right off the bat, without giving away too much, and it doesn't reflect my entire view of the movie, but this movie was a nostalgia buster. Yeah, I still have good things to say about it.
I loved it.
This wasn't what I was remembering about it.
I maybe have watched it more recently than you.
Yeah, I mean, a quarter of a century easily since I saw it. But I mean, yeah, I also saw the second and third one in theaters.
Wow! Oh my God, dude! I've only ever seen one Chucky movie in theaters.
Which one?
Bride of.
Okay, sure. And I just saw 2 and 3, and that was it. I was done. But yeah, a little bit of a nostalgia buster. But I think it's a.
Go ahead.
The British Film Institute.
Love it.
I think, but the kid really just got on my nerves. I mean, he delivers every line like with a period at the end of every word.
Yeah. Well, he's reading. You can hear Tom Holland off screen. Now say this, and now say this.
It's just bizarre. Like it. I mean, I guess he's supposed to be 6, but he's not. He's not formulating complete sentence. It's
Give me
very
that
strange.
Haley Joel, baby. You could kill this movie.
Man, I mean, I think a lot of people would.
Is there a child actor of the day that you would prefer to see?
Yeah, let's get the girl from Halloween 4.
I love it. Gender swap that kid. Put Danielle Harris in there. We're in business.
Yeah. Go for it.
I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Henry's on point today, gang. All right,
Thank you very much.
so
I like Catherine Hicks, and I think it's well directed. But go ahead.
He brings Catherine Hicks, his mom, out after making a very messy breakfast in bed, spilling. By the way, also pours her Good Guys breakfast cereal.
Ugh. Yeah.
That looked disgusting.
It really did. It looked like all Lucky Charms. And
but it looked like it had marshmallows in it, like Lucky Charms, but they were giant.
Yeah, but it looked like it was only marshmallows. It was just marshmallows and Kix.
Fucking Kix, bro. Who ate Kix?
Not
Are those
me.
still around?
I don't know, man. Not me.
There were certain cereals when I was a kid. I was like, what are you trying to sell me here? Kix was one of them. Another one was Smacks.
I never ate Smacks either, man. I was.
I bought it once because of the frog. I liked the frog.
Sure. Of course. Honey Smacks, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Cinnamon Toast Crunch. and Fruit
Loved
Loops.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Loved Fruit Loops.
Yeah, those are probably my two mainstays.
I was a big Fruity Pebbles guy. All
I
right.
never got into the
I was-
Flintstones.
I was a big pop. What is it called?
Rice Krispies.
I like those too. But what are they? Corn Pops.
Oh yeah,
I
No,
like the
never-
corn pop. I liked an Applejack.
Apple Jacks. Yeah,
What
wow.
we like.
Tricks are for kids.
I like tricks too,
I
bro.
think I liked Tricks too as well.
Yeah.
Funny.
And they'd sometimes add a flavor, keep you on your toes.
So he makes her a good guy breakfast.
Yeah.
Some burnt toast and all that. She's very in one of the funniest scenes in the movie, unintentionally funny. He gets her up. They go to open the presents, and there's a giant.
Oh,
box.
that was amazing.
Oh my God!
So
This box-
he sees a commercial, Henry, for the Good Guy doll, which is like apparently a new thing, and he's
It's like he's just seen it for the first time.
yeah.
New.
Even though like he does nothing but talk about fucking good guys and watch the show, and clearly there's already a massive skew of them in the toy store.
His mom already knows. Yeah, very strange. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
You like my use of the word skew?
well done, UPC reference.
Sweet retail
Nice.
reference, bro.
Nice.
All right, so so the dolls are big. They come in a big box. So he sees a box that size. He's psyched to open it.
Yeah, who wouldn't be?
Yeah. All right. So what happens, Henry?
It's a pair of fucking pants.
It wasn't even pants. I thought it was socks.
No, I think it's like a pair of jeans. 'Cause
Okay.
She says she puts some like faux on him and goes, "Oh, we're just gonna have to hem these up a bit."
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
We're just like, what a fucking MacGuffin of a box.
And
Like,
what's up
that's
with
like-
that, Catherine Hicks? You couldn't even get your kid the right size.
Yeah, she doesn't know his size. She's too busy in the department store.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, you get that would be like when I was a kid, if I really wanted like a Millennium Falcon and my folks wrapped a giant fucking thing and it was the exact proportions of the Millennium Falcon that I was expecting, and I open it, and it's like a Rubik's cube.
Well, this happened
Yeah.
to me a lot growing up, Henry, because all I ever wanted were videos and DVDs and CDs.
Oh, it's not gonna happen.
And
Right,
so
right.
I would get like that's what they'd buy me, but sometimes it wasn't the right one. All right?
yeah.
One time I asked my mom to get me the new Everclear album, Henry,
Sure.
and she fucked up. She bought me the new Everlast album.
Oh.
All right? So instead of jamming out to I Will Buy You a New Life and Father of Mine, I was listening to And Then You Really Might Know What It's Like.
That's too bad.
Remember that song?
No.
What, you don't
Oh,
remember that? And then you really might know what it's like to sing the blues.
I do not. All I know about Everclear is that at the 2004 Democratic Convention in Boston, where I went, he was coming out of the entrance when it was over one night, and me and my two friends were like, I said to I don't know why I knew this, but I guess he was on MTV a lot, 2004.
Well, also, he's a big boss tonight, dude, because Everlast got his start in House of Pain.
No,
Remember?
Everclear.
Oh, Everclear, Art
Right, no,
Alexakis.
you're right about House, but no, Everclear, the blonde guy, it like dyed blonde hair.
Yeah, Art Alexakis.
Yeah, that guy. Fucking spy. Yeah, look at this.
Love that guy. His daddy gave him a name, and then he walked away.
Oh, lyric reference. I don't
Yeah,
get.
I could do that all day. Honestly, I could do an Everclear podcast.
You could.
If anyone out there hosts an Everclear podcast, wants to have me on,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. So so the mom has to work on the kid's birthday. All right.
It's $100 for
The
fucking
kid's
thing.
bummed out because he didn't get the doll, and but at work, the mom's best friend says there's a peddler out back,
Peddler out back.
and they go out back and haggle with this peddler, and they buy a Chucky doll for $30. Okay, little do they know, this is the serial killer doll that
Right.
the peddler, I guess, just repackaged in the commotion.
Right. It was part of the burned out toy store after the lightning blew it all up, and everyone thought Charles Lee Ray was dead, and he must have just probably made its way to the street. Maybe Chucky got into the box first, and then
Yeah.
that's a little odd. I
Yeah.
guess he. Yeah.
Whatever. I bought it.
Yeah,
I let that one go.
I didn't even think about it until now. Yep.
So now the best friend is like, well, I don't have a man in my life. I bet I can just babysit your kid. That's fine.
Yeah, because the prick of a store owner won't let her take the night off, right?
This was a character in the 80s, Henry. Just the horny best friend that all she talked about was, I'm a spinster. I guess I'll go home to my cats.
And inevitably, they're extremely attractive.
Oh, always. They usually with like glasses, maybe a ponytail.
I think you're referring to Janine from Ghostbusters.
Janine from Ghostbusters, but also, was her name also Janine? The friend from Ninja Turtles.
Well, you said that earlier, but I don't remember that.
April O'Neil had a best friend on the Ninja Turtles who worked at the TV station with her. She wore a big, bulky blue sweatshirt and pink horn rim glasses and a ponytail. And her character was always just like, I don't have a man, or like, you'll see like April like run off to be with the turtles, and she doesn't know that's what's happening. So she thinks she's going on a date, so she'll go like, some girls have all the luck,
right?
That kind of thing.
Oh boy, yeah, that character, sure, the best friend character.
Yeah. So she's babysitting the kid. The kid's fucking pumped because he now has a Chucky doll.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he goes to sleep with the doll, but the doll weirdly wants to stay up and watch the news.
Wants to see the 9 o'clock news. Yeah. So he's sitting there. Yeah.
Right. And he spooks the lady, and then he kills her.
Pretty much.
Well, we talked about the kill. She falls hard out the window.
Yeah. I mean, that is a large window. It's very scenic. It's like a 3-panel type deal.
Yeah, what's up with that? It's like they live in the fucking Crow's apartment.
Well,
because it's a normal apartment otherwise, except for this kitchen, which has a giant picture window.
Well, it's a picture window, but that's what I was getting at earlier. It's a very luxurious place, I mean, they got the freight elevator.
Oh, that's true. They do have a freight elevator.
And it seems like there's like 19 rooms in it. It's very spacious, I was very jealous. And he hits her in the eye, I believe, or is it just the head?
I think it's the forehead.
All right, with the but you don't see him yet, so we're going for a little Jaws action here.
Yeah. Well, this was a thing apparently with the movie. The original cut was 2 hours, which is way too long. And they apparently decided what we should cut is most of the shots of Chucky early on in the movie. It would be better to do it like Jaws.
I think that was a good choice.
I thought it was a good choice too. It really works. This movie's surprisingly a slow burn.
Yeah, it is.
This best friend is the first kill, and there's not another one for like a while.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, I think the best part of the movie, this is for me, it's my favorite scene in the movie, hands down, is when the kid gets taken away essentially to like some prison. We can talk about that in a second. Kid's in Arkham Asylum.
It's not. No, listen, it's very, very simply a home for the developmentally weird
it's like from the 19th century. He's like in this barred room that like looks at, it's all gray and slabby and cementy. It was very odd. I was like, what the fuck are they doing with troubled kids?
It's kind of like where they take Claire Foy in Unsane.
Yes, exactly. Like in the second one, at least he's in like a classroom kind of type deal. But like this one,
I think this is a temporary arrangement, Henry.
Absolutely.
They're just like the killer's on the lam. He has blamed the killings on his doll, so he's a fucking maniac. Let's lock him up.
Absolutely. But so that's when the best sequence happens for me. I think and a lot of credit has to go to the director and Catherine Hicks. When she just takes that doll home and starts just like talking to it and shouting at it, and then like threatens to throw him in the fire, checks the back of him to check the batteries. Great moment.
That is good. Yeah.
Very creative stuff. And then as soon as she threatens to throw him in the fire, that's
apparently
like,
one of the titles for this movie that was considered was Batteries Not Included.
That wouldn't.
And Henry, we lost Henry, but yeah, and of course that ended up getting used by a Spielberg production about the same year.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So Henry,
what's his first words? Right? It's like, "You fucking slut, you stupid bitch! I'll teach you to fuck with me."
that is what, like, Chucky just like loses his mind once she finds that he doesn't have batteries, because I guess in that moment Chucky understands, like, oh, she's gonna believe the kid now, so I might as well just come out with this shit.
Yeah, the gig is up. Well, she's gonna throw him in the fire.
Yeah, the jig is up.
Yeah. What meaning? What? Yeah.
No, I said that was my line when I was in Annie.
Oh, there you go.
I was Rooster, paid to the order of the jig is up.
Oh, I think I missaid it. I think I misspoke. I said gig.
I know. So yeah, what happens here? So yeah, he calls her a slut, like, you fucking slut, and I'm like, dude, you get you're talking to Catherine Hicks, right?
Oh man, so like,
might as well be calling like fucking Angela Lansbury a slut.
Yeah, right. It's very true. But like, all we should say before that, Chucky's already killed the two people, right? He's killed the voodoo guy and he's killed his old accomplice.
Oh, that's right. Because at this point he's taken the kid on walkabout, basically.
Yeah, little errands, little errands.
He tells the kid, "You don't have to go to school, buddy. Take your best friend, the good guy, over to see his voodoo friend."
So the 6-year-old gets on the elevated train. Nope, no issue there.
But I actually liked that, because it's Chucky calling the shots. Chucky was probably like, all right, now crawl under the turnstile. All right, great. Get on this train.
Absolutely. It was I agree. They didn't go through every step. Like, they didn't show him saying anything. He's just doing it, which
But
is
you can
great.
assume that shit.
Yeah.
And so he kills the voodoo guy. But what he finds out is that to become human, the only way he can transfer his body into a human is to transfer it into the body of the first person he was honest about his true nature with.
Yeah, he revealed his nature.
Which is very, very stupid, but it is a major plot point in the first 3 movies, so we kind of have to just go along with it.
Exactly. It is stupid, but it kind of, I kind of see why they did it, because if he could just go into anybody, then the movie would be over pretty quickly, or you would just have kind of who would he be? Everybody.
Right. So the third act of this movie is him. He's got to get into this kid's body. All right.
Right.
And I like that he kind of likes the idea of it. It's like, well, I'll be alive a long time. Sounds good.
I get to strangle people for a whole lifetime. Yeah. He's into it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that what would have been better is if at the end of this movie he got into the kid, and then Child's Play 2 is just like about a kid mob boss.
There you go, mob boss.
Yeah. Or kid serial killer.
Right. Yeah, like the kid serial
Andy
killer.
Barclay, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Andy Barclay Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really bad joke. Essentially what happens here, I mean, he
I want to talk about the sequence where Catherine Hicks says to Chris Sarandon, who's the detective on the case, who does not believe the kid at all at this point, she says, well, I bought the Chucky doll from a peddler, and he's like, understand, got it. So let's find the peddler, all right? So she says that she's going to go off and find them. Sarandon's like, well, I don't want you to go alone, so he follows her without her knowledge.
Correct.
All right? So she goes there. She promptly finds the peddler, all right?
quite easily. Yeah.
The peddler's like, what will you give me for this information? She's like, I don't have anything. Can you just tell me where you got the fucking doll? And he's like, you do have something. And then all of a sudden, this fucking peddler tries to rape her.
That was very surprising.
I did not need that. And frankly, I love this movie. That's the ghost blowjob.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, I can't argue that. I don't love the movie. I do like it. I'll say that right now. But yeah, that was so bizarre.
We were way too quick back then with just tossing in rapes. Like, it's no problem. That's a plot point.
Yeah, it was so unnecessary. I mean,
it's like in fucking Supergirl, there's an attempted rape.
Yeah, you're right. It's just crazy because, they could have really just had him be a threatening, get a bunch of them together and maybe try to rob her, steal her necklace. I don't fucking know, but they turn it into that, and it's like, whoa, this
right.
I just sold them a doll very kindly.
Right, I mean, maybe kindly, the peddler's friends surround her, and so the situation gets scarier, and Chris Sarandon can come in to save them. That's fine. We don't need to bring rape into it.
I agree. It would have worked just as well. Yeah, I know. It took me aback. It took me aback, like I said, because of the nature of him before. He's a good little character actor, this homeless guy. He's disgusting and has a good scene of haggling. And I just didn't get rapist vibe from him at that moment.
Nor did I.
Very odd.
And nor did I ever need to think that about this character.
Yeah, very strange. But so she gets saved by the cop.
Yeah, Sarandon, Detective Sarandon, and. He so he now believes her.
Well, yeah, and also because she tells him the name that Andy...
Oh, of course. And she says, the peddler says he got the doll from that crime scene. He was like, holy shit, I was there.
Exactly. And he saw some crazy shit.
He saw some crazy shit because he called on the power of voodoo, and then a lightning bolt happened, and it propelled him from the place.
It leveled the store. Yeah. So he's all starting to come around. Yeah.
So the movie ends with this big confrontation between Chucky, Sarandon, and the kid, and Catherine Hicks, of course. They're all in the apartment, and he gets shot, right?
Yeah,
because he is useless during this entire showdown.
He really is. I mean, he's a grown man, and he can't really handle.
He's a police officer, and he's just sitting on the floor of their kitchen, fucking holding his knee.
It's true. It's kind of like, buck up, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's taken out pretty quick, and it's like, Andy, go get the first aid kit. It's like, what?
Even his weird detective friend who looks like
right.
He looks sort of like David Wayne if he had a beard. Or who's that guy, the best friend from So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Anthony LaPaglia?
Yeah, he looks a little like that guy.
Nice. Yeah.
Good pull, by the way.
Yeah. That's the actor Tommy Swerdlow.
Yeah, and he had a career, right? Tommy Swerdlow. Or maybe did he become a director?
I believe that is possibly true. I'm pulling up, obviously, something else, as you might have guessed. But yeah, he's still working, I can tell you that.
A writer. He became a writer. In fact, he wrote Cool Runnings.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that credit.
And most recently, the animated Grinch that came out last year.
Oh, didn't see it.
Henry, he's written some great movies. Little Giants with Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill. Bushwhacked with Daniel Stern. All right? Snow Dogs with Cuba.
Boy, he's into these goofy...
Hey, that's where the work is, bro.
Yeah, go where the work is, man. Yeah.
He's apparently... Listen to this, Henry. He's currently writing a biopic about Matisyahu.
What?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah, I think he stopped being Hasidic, and so he didn't have a hook anymore. That was his whole thing. He's the Hasidic Jew. He gets out there with the big long coat, the fucking payas, and the beard, and the hat, and he does reggae. I saw him live weirdly 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, I just remember selling the shit out of his CD.
Yeah,
Constantly.
it was like the only he'd like rap, but he'd like include the word Mashiach in the rap. Like, it was a weird time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
So yeah, that fucking guy. Anyway, so anyway, they fucking shoot the shit out of Chucky.
They shoot his heart out. They burn him alive in the
They
fireplace.
shoot his legs off, which I
Shoot
like.
his legs off. I mean, they are just butchering him. And I mean, as the voodoo man had said, I believe, you have to shoot him in the heart. Shoot him in the heart. And they do
Shoot her!
Doesn't
Shoot her! That's from Jurassic Park. All right.
that. Oh, God.
Muldoon, baby. All right.
Wow. Yeah.
Um,
But nothing works. He comes back to life maybe once too many times for the running time. But
yeah, but the last one's kind of a goofball one. It's like, it's sort of like that moment in Scream where, like, she says, like, they always come back, and then not this time. Boom.
right.
Yeah. So anyway, what a great movie.
I think it's a good movie. I was disappointed because I guess I had really high expectations, but I really do blame that on some nostalgia for it. I actually, this was probably very naive, like super naive of me, but I kind of thought it was going to be scary.
Oh,
It's
you know,
not. But
it's
that's
a little,
okay.
it's a little on the spooky side.
Yeah, oh no, it's definitely spooky. It absolutely is. I don't want to shortchange it. I guess I had like built up in my head over all these years, because it's like considered a classic, and but
I would contend that it is a classic. It's an
Yeah.
excellent start to this franchise, and I'm looking forward to covering more.
yes, partially me too. So what are you giving this movie?
I give it a 4.
Oh, I was expecting a 5.
No, come on, come now.
I don't know. You said it's a classic. You didn't really have much bad to say about it,
I mean, listen, the kid sucks. Let's call a spade a spade. There's an attempted rape. This doesn't get a 5.
I got you. I'm gonna go with a 3.
Okay, love it. Who's your
Three-star movie.
Who's your MVP?
Oh, that's definitely Catherine Hicks.
Okay, I like that you went with Hicks because I was between her and Brad Dourif, who I think is just dynamite as Chucky, the voice of Chucky. Did you know that in the 2-hour cut they screened that went really badly in test screenings? They had Jessica Walter doing the voice of Chucky.
Yeah. I did.
That is bonkers. So
That's weird.
So clearly Dourif wasn't like the first choice or whatever, but he's the right guy.
He's great.
He is
Nah,
fucking
yeah.
great. And honestly, that is a worry I have about this new Child's Play movie. Mark Hamill's doing the voice of Chucky, and I love Mark Hamill's voice work.
Yes,
You
do.
know I do.
I do. You do. Yeah.
But I will miss Brad Dourif.
Yeah. Well, he's still around. They could have got him.
He's still great, by the way. I just watched the Deadwood wrap-up movie,
Yeah.
and he's fucking incredible. He's like maybe my favorite character on Deadwood, other than like the main people.
Sure. Nah, Brad Dourif's always been great. He's great in the aforementioned Mississippi Burning. I mean, he's just in so many movies, and he's always top notch.
He is a fantastic character actor and very, very good for this role.
Yeah.
And it's just a voice, so it didn't fucking kill his career the way it did, like England, and it didn't
Very good
pinhole
point.
him the way it
Very
did
good.
that these
Very
movies
good
have.
point. Yeah, it didn't pull him out. Oh, you know what? Jesus, didn't even mention. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
So great in that movie.
So he's been around. He had already been around.
Oh,
for, like,
big time.
long time. Yeah. Jeez.
They're lucky to have him in this fucking thing, frankly.
Fucking A, they are.
Is
Well,
your LVP the kid?
Fucking A.
Yeah, of course. Okay. A superhero count?
Well, he's your LVP too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, 3. Not too painful.
Love it.
Chris Sarandon was in the 2017 animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV cartoon, playing Dracula.
Sure, the Ninja
didn't get
Turtles
that.
sometimes fight mythological creatures.
Oh, right. It's been a while for me.
I remember a werewolf episode in the old show.
Okay, that makes sense.
It
That makes
doesn't.
sense.
They're never the best stories, but I remember one time the Ninja Turtles went to Scotland and contended with a banshee.
That sounds right. Did they ever fight the Loch Ness monster? Because if they didn't, they're missing out. That was
I
good.
think that would be a great storyline. You should pitch that.
And it, in a Scottish brogue, be great.
Yeah.
Tommy Swerdlow, Sarandon's partner, cop partner, was Ginger Moss in Howard the Duck.
He sure was. Yeah, he's got kind of a role in that movie.
Okay, all right. And currently or recently, he was Thomas Nash in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, he's still acting as well. Interesting.
And last but not least, the actor Jack Colvin, who played possibly the world's worst doctor in our recent movie coverage. I think he gets his brain fried in this, right? Doesn't Chucky put a thing on his brain and he gets
Who's
like
this
electrocuted?
guy?
Jack Colvin, the doctor in the insane asylum, he gets a
Yeah, I mean, no, he definitely gets electrocuted, but
like the child doctor.
But you said we covered him as a doctor before?
Oh no! I just said he's the worst doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in a couple episodes of The Incredible Hulk, playing a character named Jack McGee.
Oh, that was a lot of build up for not much. Okay.
True. Yeah.
You ready to talk about CP2, Child's Play 2, Chucky 2? So like almost to the weekend, I think. To the day, Henry. 2 years later, Child's Play 2 comes out.
Okay.
All right. It's directed by John Lafia, who co-wrote the first one, you'll recall, and Don Mancini's back to write, as he will forevermore.
Yeah.
All right. I have to sneeze.
Gazoon tight.
Thanks. So, November 9th, 1990. Also, very weird that they're releasing these movies consistently 1 week after Halloween.
That is very odd. We'll get to this too, but I want to mention that the music isn't great in the first one, but it's totally passable. It's a little playful. We didn't talk about it at all.
Who was the music by? I remember it being okay.
Yeah, no, it is okay. This music in this one is considerably different. It's by Graham Revell,
who's still working today, like very famous composer.
Very much so. That was Joe Renzetti. Yeah, I don't know who the hell that is.
So which one's better?
Which score?
I didn't notice the scores too much in these movies.
Well, they're not. Yeah, well, I like the score to the first one better. I mean,
the first one's more of a real movie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. But Graham Revell, his fucking career. He did The Crow, Daredevil, From Dusk Till Dawn, Sin City, Freddy vs. Jason.
Jeez, he does a lot of real fucking aggro movies.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised the Rob Zombie thing isn't on here. Boxing Helena.
No, Rob Zombie does his own scores, right?
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, you said aggro, and I just saw Boxing Helena.
That's funny.
Controversial movies ever made, yeah. Anyway, he does Riddick. This guy's got like thousands of credits. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he works. He works.
Awesome. Yeah.
A lot of electric guitar. I feel like his scores are a lot of da-na-na. Just butt rock. All right. November 9th, 1990, a budget of $13 million, a box office of 35.8. It did well. They got to learn to keep these budgets down on these horror movies.
Yeah, well, they never do, my friend.
Well, they do eventually, but not till like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, right. 20 years later, they figured it out.
Yeah. It came in at number 41 at the box office between Pacific Heights and Rescuers Down Under.
Wow, I remember Pacific Heights. I saw that in the theater, too.
I don't know what that is.
It is a Michael Keaton, Melanie Griffith, Matthew Modine juncture.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, it's a thriller where Michael Keaton... Yeah, in the trilogy of Modine, Keaton, Griffith.
The old MKMs.
Klein. And, I think it's pretty good. I actually saw it a few years ago again. It's a very good, tense little potboiler. I think it's directed by somebody of repute, too, weirdly. But anyway, Pacific Heights, yes.
Do you have your top 10 list for 1990?
Do indeed.
All right,
Oh,
let's hear
yeah.
it.
No, Blockbuster. Right. Okay. Number 10, Misery.
Okay, I knocked Misery off my list. I'm sorry to say. Love that movie.
I get it. I have like 6 honorable mentions. I didn't even say them. Yeah, they got knocked too. So, all right.
My number 10, and frankly, it's not as good as Misery, but I fucking love this movie and I want it on my list, and that's Arachnophobia.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm due for a rewatch of that. That has been a long time.
You're all due for a rewatch of that. All of you out there.
Everybody, Arachnophobia. Oh, a side note. I think listeners will be very excited to hear something. I was going through some DVDs recently looking for something and accidentally came across my copy of Fitzcarraldo.
Oh.
Haven't watched it,
Oh.
but it is now on my it is out of the junk pile and on my things to watch.
Wow, okay. This is very exciting stuff, but just to reiterate, Henry, as of now, have you seen Fitzcarraldo?
As of right now, we're gonna get right to the bottom of that question. Here we go.
Has Henry seen Fitzcarraldo? 9. He has not.
Oh, okay, all right. But
But I'm closer
it's in the offing.
than ever before.
All right. What's your number 9?
Total Recall.
All right, my number 9 is Crybaby. And I got to tell you, Crybaby's on the list, the great John Waters movie. And you'll notice we just covered 1988, and Hairspray was not on the list. And Hairspray's probably a better movie than Crybaby. The only explanation can be 88's a better year for movies than 1990.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. 88 was really a hell of a year. I've talked about this before. I'm not really a fan of the movies that I've seen, but I fucking love him as a person.
John Waters?
Yeah, he's just such a hilarious, awesome dude,
He's the best.
Every time I hear him in an interview, he's just the fucking best. All right.
If you go to somebody's house and they don't have books, don't fuck them.
I've heard it, yes.
That's a classic John Waters
Yeah,
quote.
it's great. Great line from him. Oh, man. Love it. All right. Number 8, Revenge.
Oh, boy. My number 8's Total Recall.
All right. My number 7 is the Hamlet.
Sure.
The Hamlet. Mel Gibson.
Zeffirelli.
R.I.P. Right recently.
Yep, and Me Too'd.
I don't remember that. Do I?
He got Me Too'd pretty hardcore by like a famous actress, I think.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Rest in reasonable peace, maybe? RIRP? I don't know.
Sure.
RIUP. Rest in uncomfortable peace. Yeah.
Yeah. Time's up.
Oh, Zeph. All right. Well, he made a great Hamlet.
He sure did. My number 7 is... I bet he got along with Mel Gibson pretty well. My number 7 is The King of New York.
Still unseen by me.
Right.
Yeah. Number 6 is one of my favorite movies of one of my favorite directors, and that is Wild at Heart by David
Love
Lynch.
that picture. My number 6 is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah, I never saw it.
They just announced that Lynch is going to be one of the, he's going to get an honorary Oscar. You know when they do that sometimes when there's like a really great filmmaker and it's like, he's never going to make a movie that's going to win an Oscar. Let's just give him one.
Point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
There are some of those directors who are just never going to get recognized because of what they do.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
I mean, maybe the only one I always lump them together, even though they're not, but because I love them both. But Cronenberg, I mean, at least I think he's gotten some screen, maybe for like Eastern Promises.
No,
maybe
but Cronenberg's, I still don't think Cronenberg. He might be a big enough name to get an honorary Oscar. I just think like David Lynch is one of these guys who has been overlooked. If he was ever going to win an Oscar, it was probably for the fucking Straight Story or something.
Right.
And so like let's just go ahead and give David Lynch an Oscar.
That's very nice. I agree.
All right, heavy hitters. What's your number 5?
Ours, Vincent and Theo by Robert Altman.
I've never seen that movie. We've talked about it. My number 5 is Wild at Heart.
Alrighty. Number 4 is Jacob's Ladder.
My number 4 is Edward Scissorhands.
Aw. My number 3 is Dances with Wolves.
Okay. My number 3 is Mo Better Blues.
Right. My number 2 is Miller's Crossing.
Right. That's my number 2.
And the best movie of 1990, or is now in accordance and has been, I think, for a little bit, is Goodfellas.
Correct. Okay. So Child's Play 2.
Yep.
The kid, he's in like fucking foster care at this point, right?
Yeah, he's like in a some sort of home, I guess.
It looks like a pound. He's like in a dog pound. And like families are going to go see him, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to check him out. We want this one, no. But before that, we get a little prologue, right? We get the evidence of Chucky, and the guys try to reconstruct him to show the evil.
Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, yeah.
That's first. Yeah.
You're right. Okay, so we're in like the what is the name of this toy company? Because that comes back many times.
Shit. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, we're in like the manufacturing center of this company, which is in Chicago, of course.
Yeah, naturally, yeah.
And yeah, these two bros are like trying to reconstruct the Chucky doll, the one, like the killer one,
for no real reason.
Well, you know what? There's some fucked up shit because it's a really depressing beginning to this movie because the first movie has like a happy ending, like the cops, both Sarandon and faux David Wayne find out like they see Chucky like so they're like, oh well, the kid was right all along. Yep. Case closed. But by the beginning of this one, I guess these cops are keeping this shit under wraps.
They're either keeping it under wraps or they've been, dishonorably discharged or some kind of shit. Maybe a gag order. I don't know.
Because they say that the mom at this point, Catherine Hicks, is just like in a mental institution.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. It is. It's just a passing. Well, there's a few references to the mom, but yeah.
Well, we do see the kid with a picture of her.
Fuck. You know what's funny about that? I would have had that ready, but I don't even remember that. He has a picture of her?
It's the only note I took while watching this movie.
All right, well, it's time for one of the best themes probably ever composed for the show. Here we go.
It's a photo bomb, cause we couldn't get the actors, cause we couldn't afford them, so get on the photo bomb.
Now, they could have had Hicks in this movie. They decided not to put her in.
Oh, really? Did they ask her?
Well, did you know, Henry, that the animatronics special effect wizard who created the Chucky doll got old Catherine Hicks to fall in love with him, wouldn't you know it? And they're still married to this day.
Are you serious?
Yes.
My God. Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
So apparently Hicks was on the set of Child's Play 2 a lot, like visiting her husband.
She's like, no, thank you.
No, I think it was just that's not what they wanted to do in this movie.
Right. Wow, that's funny. Jesus.
So, Andy gets adopted. Fuck.
Welcome to the NyQuil episode of the franchise, everybody.
Yeah. By Jenny Agutter, a classy British actress. And Garrett Graham, right?
That's correct.
What's that dude been in?
Well, he's in my superhero account, but I won't say that.
Oh, yet. You know who he is? He's the fucking, he's the Phantom of the Paradise himself.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's been in that bad movie.
That great movie. So happy to see them taking care of old Andy Barclay. They bring him into the Foster house, which is this massive fucking home, just filled with expensive tchotchkes to break. Very true. And he's got a foster sister now who's kind of like a hot punk girl.
I had such a crush on this girl.
When you saw Child's Play 2 in
Oh
theaters?
my God. Yeah, I would have been like 12, but I
I
also
get it. I get it. She's got a boy's name, Kyle, which is kind of cool. She sneaks out at night.
well, I remember her also being on 90210.
Sure. She was big on those early 90210
Yeah,
seasons. She
yeah.
was a real troublemaker.
Yeah, and what I thought was funny when I was doing my superhero count is I'm looking under her thing there to see, and it turns out she was born in 1965. So she's 25 years old when she's in this movie playing a, 17-year-old?
Would you bone her today?
She's 54.
I
Sure.
think you would, of course. Yeah, I guess I would too.
Of course.
So there you go. Kyle. She's the sis.
Yeah.
But she's going to turn 18 in just like a month, right?
True, that's right. That's right. She says that. I'll be on my own soon. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So she befriends Andy. She takes him out to the swing and back. They show Andy around the house, but very quickly they open up the closet door. What comes falling out?
Uh-oh.
A good guy doll.
Good guy doll.
All
Yeah,
right.
bad move, parents. You didn't know anything about the history of this child, and then just forgot to clear that
Because
out.
this is they said their
Yeah, they have
excuse
100
was
kids,
we
right?
have
Yeah.
so many toys in the house we can't remember all of them, except like they're adopting a kid who has been put away in a mental hospital because he's afraid that a very specific doll is
Right.
possessed by a serial killer and is out to get him.
It's not like
Maybe check to see if you have that one.
I agree. It's not like the therapist said, look, he just doesn't like dolls. So if you have any dolls, just get rid of them. It's like, oh, yeah, he thought...
They could have given him the fucking ISBN code of this fucking thing.
two skew references. Yeah, you're right. That was very funny. And, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, then how does... so Chucky comes back to life and hitches a ride to the house with the asshole guy, the assistant lackey.
I loved
Yeah.
this character. He is leaving work with the Chucky doll in the back of his car. He can't fit it in his trunk, which is so ridiculous.
It is a huge doll. I meant to say that in the first episode. I did not remember how fucking huge this thing was.
Yeah, Chucky's
My
a big
God.
boy.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Anyway.
So he's on his way to a date.
Has to
First
stop.
of all, this actor is Greg German.
Oh, okay.
Amazing. He's on Grey's Anatomy currently.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's had a great TV career, character actor. He was he was one of the partners at The Firm on Ally McBeal.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Richard Fish.
Does he play a sleazebag? Because he seems like that's what he'd get cast as a lot.
He was like a sleazebag with a heart of gold, and he had a fetish for. He fell in love with this judge because she was older, and he was turned on by the waddle. They would always talk about that. The waddle, the little piece of skin that attaches like the chin to the neck.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah.
That's weirder than anything we've covered tonight.
Yeah, Ally McBeal, great show. So he's great in this movie. He's honestly so good in this one scene that he's almost my MVP.
He tries to pay with a credit card.
Oh my God, he gets a call from this lady, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm on my way, babe. I got it right.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
like, "Did you get the vodka?" And he goes,
Yeah.
"Of course, babe. I know what vodka does for you. I'm on my way. I'll be there any seconds." Daddy-o. And so he goes into a liquor store because he didn't get the vodka. Tries to pay with a card. The liquor store guy's like, "We only have cash there." And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm trying to get my dick wet here."
Yeah. He really needs this vodka.
He
I
needs
think
it.
that's why he's so adamant.
Yeah. So, instead of like going to an ATM like a normal person, he like freaks out and he gets back into the car and Chucky kills him.
Yeah. Suffocates him with a plastic bag after driving him into a parking lot at squirt gun point.
Yeah,
And,
that's right. There's like a car chase. For a horror movie series, these two movies have a lot of car chases.
Dude, the one with Sarandon goes on for a very long time.
That in the first one, that's not so hot. I'm with you.
Because it's like a cool idea at first when the knife is coming through the seat, but it just keeps going and going. Yeah. Anyway,
and like it doesn't totally make sense. Like Chucky, I guess, is like preventing him from stepping on the brake, but like it's a doll, just like kick it in the head.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so this guy's dead, and Chucky manages to get into this foster home and switch himself with the other doll.
He's crafty. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What happens next?
So he buries the doll, and so we get some ominous portents of them swinging on the swing set right above the dirt, which is like
buries the doll.
Yeah. Chucky buries his doppelganger.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get David Lynch's Grace Zabriskie as the foster care home owner who gives out the kids, right?
I have a real problem with putting Grace Zabriskie and Beth Grant in the same movie. They're the same person.
Yeah. Two very recognizable character actresses who are just like you're right. They're almost too identifiable.
Yeah. Grace Zabriskie, of course, was Sarah Palmer? Laura Palmer. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know.
Laura Palmer's mom on Twin Peaks, and
Wild at Heart, too.
Latterly, I loved her also as Bill Paxton's mom on Big Love.
Oh, I only watched a couple of seasons of that, but I don't remember her. Okay.
Yeah. And so she...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Now I do.
Yeah, she's over there on the compound.
Right. Yeah.
So, is she married to Bruce Dern in that
show?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I don't remember.
I think so.
That sounds right. Yeah.
All right, so Zabriskie, who is she playing in this?
It's like the one who runs the foster home that gives out the kids.
Right. Meanwhile, Beth Grant plays his teacher, right?
Correct.
And the Chucky doll at this point, the kid cottons on to the fact that the Chucky doll is the Chucky doll.
Right.
In question pretty early. And because Chucky like ties him to his bed, right?
Right. Yeah. He ties him to his bed and puts a sock in his mouth, and then, of course, turns inanimate as soon as the parents come in.
Right. And Kyle comes in through the window, and they're like, Kyle, did you fucking tie up Andy? And she's like, no. Why would I do that?
Oh, my God. Yeah, the Garrett Graham as the dad. Boy, he's you got really polar opposite type of foster parents here. You got the really, really understanding.
Oh, listen, the mom wants kids. You could tell. Like she's taking care of these kids, and Garrett Graham is just like, I don't think we should be taking care of this maniac. Can we send him back?
Yeah.
And the mom's like, he's our son. And Garrett Graham's like, he's been here for like a day.
Yeah, it's true.
Just because you read him a book or whatever. Like,
right. It's a weird conundrum because you want to side with the mom for being so compassionate, but the dad raises some very valid points, like a kid who has suffered this amount of psychological trauma, be it imagined or not, probably is a little much for us to handle.
I love the moment where Chucky kills Garrett Graham, but like lets him know right before he died, like the kid was right. Look, I'm a killer doll.
For sure, yeah. I never like when they don't know that kind of thing. Like they actually don't really give you the implication that Catherine Hicks's best friend knows what hit her in the head. It just happens so fast.
Yeah, no, you're right. It reminded me of that moment in Logan when Logan tells Xavier, like, it wasn't me.
Oh, yeah? Right. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. So the Chucky doll goes to school with Andy. You remember he like hitches a ride on the bus? There's this great shot of the fucking school bus pulling out with like Chucky's feet like dragging below it.
Yeah. And of course, kids are motherfuckers to Andy.
As they should be. Fuck this kid. And the doll, like Andy like turns in some homework or whatever, and he writes like "fuck you, bitch" on the homework.
It was during that sort of moment where I was definitely getting the realization that I truly needed to just. I mean, it came earlier, I guess, because it was in the first one, but this one, it's funny when like he does that shit. You know, like
this movie,
very deadpan. It's very deadpan. Like it's not totally insane goofiness yet. You know what I mean? It's still just like, oh, whoa.
No, I know what you mean, man. This Child's Play 2 actually tonally reminded me a lot of A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Remember the one with the gay kid, basically?
The K kid?
The gay kid.
Very. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
The kid who's like turning into Freddy.
Yeah.
To me, like when we watched that movie, I gave it a 3, I think, and I said like they're doing their best. The remit is to create a sequel, and they're doing it, and they're trying to do it with the same tone as the first one, but you know it's a sequel, so it's ultimately going to be a little goofier, and that's how I felt about this one.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So anyway, like you know, what happens? He kills the dad.
Kills the mom.
It's a bloodbath. There's way more deaths in this movie because it's a horror sequel. That's what they do.
Yeah, he kills the teacher. He kills the dad. He kills the mom. He kills the foster person. I mean, yeah, he's doing a lot of killing. He almost kills a cop. I thought that was interesting. He didn't kill the cop when she gets pulled over. Remember that? I was like, well, this cop's dead.
Right. I do remember that.
But he doesn't do it.
He's still trying to get into Andy's body.
Right.
And ultimately, it doesn't work, right? Like, he gets his opportunity, and he does the whole spell and shit.
He does the whole thing. Yeah,
and it doesn't work because apparently, like, he's turned too human already or whatever, so he's stuck in the Chucky body. So then the end of this movie, he's just like, well, fuck it, I'll kill this fucker.
Yeah, that's when the tables turn and his motive isn't to transform; it's just to murder. And I do think that it is important. And I you know, you'll make fun of me, but what's her name? The actress, the Kyle.
I don't know. She's your lady love.
I'm gonna look right now because she's really good. But I think I think she's very good in this, and I think
her name is Christine Elise.
Yeah, I see it right here. Yeah. I feel like if that was miscast, it wouldn't work as well because that could potentially be a very annoying role. But I think she's good. She's got kind of like this steely resolve to her.
Yeah, there's a lot of these characters in horror movies of the 80s, Henry. Like, we came across it, I feel like, once a movie in Friday the 13th, where it's just like the tough girl.
Right, but I think she does it, like, exceptionally well.
I agree. She's one of the better ones.
Yeah, agreed.
No, listen, she's going to be my MVP of this movie, and clearly she's going to be yours.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
I mean, she's in the movie so much, and I mean, I think that she just delivers, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of a fucking two-hander at times.
It really is. I agree. I honestly kind of had trouble with the LVP. I mean, I think I did choose correctly. It's no real knock against the actor, but the part is just so humdrum.
Who's that?
Well, it is going to Garrett Graham as the dad.
Okay.
Phil.
I'm not ready to give mine yet because we're not done with this fucking movie.
This is true. I thought you said MVP. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
All right, listen. We end up in the Play Pals factory, okay?
Very, very good locale for an ending, sure.
Yeah, no, it actually does work. You know, they make all the wrong moves, of course. They could easily leave this factory like 100 times, but then they start like climbing on conveyor belts and shit like idiots.
Yeah. They get lost among the plethoras of Chucky dolls.
Right. And so, you know, it ends up like they almost get smashed by these machines. By the way, they're operating these machines, creating Chucky dolls in the middle of the fucking night. Like, and nobody's working there.
One guy.
But he's like a security guard. Who's operating these machines?
I thought he was an operator of the machine. He isn't. I thought he was wearing like a blue jumpsuit.
I thought he was like watching video monitors or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It's very odd that it is like it's an in-production facility at all hours. They cannot get these things out fast enough.
No, the people are loving these Chucky dolls. Listen, there was a controversy where one may or may not have been a serial killer a couple years ago. It had to be on the news, but they're still selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. If anything, that bumped up the sales numbers.
I think so. It's a good point.
Yeah, for sure.
At one point, Chucky gets his hand, like shot off or something, and he replaces it with a knife.
He rips his hand out because it's caught in the jail bar.
Right, yeah.
So like a human now, he has like a fucking bloody stump, and
it's actually a good effect, Henry. That it's like every time like the doll gets dismembered and it's like bleeding and shit, it looks good.
It does look good. I mean that was an interesting thing because only 2 years had passed, but the animatronics were considerably better in this movie.
It reminded me of the effects in Existenz,
which I haven't seen.
Oh, right.
Body horror thing going on there, you mean?
Well, yeah, but I mean, in that movie, like, they're like in a video game, so they have like game ports in their bodies. You know, it's like interesting shit.
Yeah.
All right, so Kyle, you know, fucking, they fight and
they kill him multiple times.
They pour plastic, like melted plastic over it and shit.
That doesn't work.
Chucky jumps up.
They try to dismember him by having him like reassembled, but for some reason he got out unscathed. But
then they explode him.
Right. Yeah, they blow his head up.
And then they leave together, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right, now we can talk about it. What do you give this movie?
2 stars.
2. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I get it. I get that. There was just a little, reason I gave it a 2 is because sort of the same reasons you didn't give the first one a 5. There's just a couple things in there that are just a little too long, a little too labored. But as
you are getting worse and worse calling movies long, Henry.
Me?
Yeah, you are. You called all those fucking Aladdin movies long too. Neither of these movies crack 90 minutes.
But it's a matter of whether you're feeling it or not.
Okay.
Well, no, and actually, correction. I might have misspoke. I didn't mean the movie is too long.
Some of the bits.
Some of the bits are too long. Yeah, they're too extended.
I hear you. Maybe we might be in this factory for too long at the end.
I mean, 88 is totally. I did not feel that the movie's too long. I was just in certain sequences. I was like, boy, this is going on for a while. You know, a lot of foreshadowing and omens that just kind of go on and on. But as a sequel, I mean, it's honestly much better than I was thinking it was going to be. But I can't really in good conscience.
Let's do this. Number 2, Henry. Rank these number 2s. Child's Play 2. Okay? Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Friday the 13th Part 2, Halloween 2.
All right. Halloween 2.
Agreed.
First. Second, Friday the 13th.
Agreed. It's one of the best Friday the 13th.
Right. And Child's Play 2, and then Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that ranking.
Okay.
Love it.
No, it's a solid sequel. It's okay.
Now rank the first ones. Halloween, Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. The first ones.
All right. Halloween.
Agreed.
Friday the 13th, Child's Play, and then Nightmare.
Okay. Now, Friday the 13th, the first one, I'm not a huge fan of. So, for me, it is... What?
I hesitated before I did the switcheroo, but yeah.
I would say it's Halloween at number 1, then Nightmare, then Child's Play, then Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that also my rankings just reflect my dislike of the Nightmare series in general. But the Friday the 13th, as you know, I liked quite a bit of them. But I think it's the first one's a pretty good setup. But so is the first Child's Play.
It's got a great ending. That sweater is wonderful. Okay. All right. Superhero count for Child's Play 2?
It's 3.
Oh, I didn't do my MVP, LVP, Henry. Well, my MVP is fucking Kyle. My LVP, boy,
it's a little odd.
Yeah, I liked the dad more than the mom. I'll give Jenny Agutter, and I heard Jenny Agutter I read that she had a really bad experience making this movie. She really didn't like being on the set of Child's Play 2, so maybe she's not fully committed. I'll go with her as my LVP.
Okay, fair enough. All right. I don't
want to pile on this fucking kid.
Well, there's no need to. He's not. He's better in this movie.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and there's less of him. So, superhero count. I'll just beep bop bomb. All right, Jenny Agutter. And I didn't know whether a novel counted, but we've done this movie as a superhero count before, so I threw it in there. That's right. She is the burn doctor in Darkman.
Yeah, that's a superhero. Yeah, that works.
It's not a comic, but yeah.
No, that's just a Sam Raimi original.
Well, no, I think it's based. I think right. But I think he wrote like a book first or something.
Either way, it's a fucking superhero. Like I would count fucking Hancock in superhero rankings.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. And weirdly, Jenny Agutter was Councilwoman Hawley in the first 2 Avengers movies.
I think she's been in even more Marvel shit. I could be wrong.
I mean, I didn't see her credited, but it could be that she is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
she's always on the council. That's good attention to detail in those fucking movies.
Yeah, I'll say.
She's in... Okay, no, she is in 2... But it's not the first 2 Avengers movies. She's in The Avengers and Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I fucked that up. I even remember seeing that. I don't know why I had it in my head, too. Okay, very good. So this is still better continuity. She returns.
Yeah.
Garrett Graham played Milo in The Tick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this one's not very exciting. There's a character in this movie named Sammy. I have no fucking clue who this is. Must be a little kid. It's a little kid, clearly, because the age of the actor. And he was a brainiac later on in Legion of Superheroes. Boy Kenny in Batman Beyond. And Jimmy Olsen in Superman Doomsday.
Well, that's because this actor, Adam Wiley, was a very big child actor in his day and has gone on to have a good career. I, of course, remember him the most as the fucking creep show kid in Picket Fences.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Wowzer. All right.
So there you have it.
Yeah, that's the first 2 child plays for you, folks.
So, I want to thank Logan B. Adair again. That was fun.